So a good amount of people have been asking me to do mock drafts ever since, probably like week 16 around there. They've been doing it for quite a while. I kind of haven't been wanting to do it because the comp picks haven't been announced yet. And if you don't know what the comp picks are, it's pretty much picks that teams get for losing free agents. And the Texans are projected to get a 3rd round pick for losing Boye and 2 6th round picks for losing Quentin Demps and John Simon. So the website I use doesn't even have projected comp picks, so it's kind of hard, but I went ahead and kind of did it anyways, like my own comp picks, because I know there's only like 34 that can be rewarded. I know for a fact that the 3rd round pick we're going to get for Boye is either going to be 33rd overall in the 3rd round or 34th overall in the 3rd round, depending on what they see more valuable, Calais Campbell or AJ Boye. So the 6th round picks were kind of harder to predict, but I try to do my best to make it as accurate as possible. And some of these picks some of these players I wasn't expecting to really fall, but that's just the way sometimes boards fall. And I did a lot of mock drafts, and more often than not, these players that I'm about to select fell to the spot. So that's kind of where it's at right now. Of course, you got pro days, you got scouting combines, you got interviews. These players can fall or rise, so we're not really quite there yet. And of course, there's free agency that comes around first, so other teams are going to have other needs after free agency, after trades, if trades do happen. So right off the bat, with the 3rd round pick, the first 3rd round pick, 4th overall, I have the Texans selecting Braden Smith, guard, out of Auburn. Now, Braden Smith started a lot of games for Auburn at left guard. He was pretty much solid the whole time, consistent. He's a good run blocker, a good pass blocker, balanced. That's what we need. We don't need someone like Jeff Allen, who's a better pass blocker than run blocker, and someone like Suafilo, who is a better run blocker but an atrocious pass blocker. So Braden Smith is a plug-in player. He can play right off the bat. So with our 3rd round pick, we're actually getting a guy who can be a day 1 starter for the Texans at left guard. Yes, we do need offensive tackles, probably more than guards, but I'm going best player available at position of need, and I just think we need to shore up the offensive line. Doesn't matter where, besides center maybe. So, and again, I don't know what free agents the Texans are going to sign, so I'm assuming they didn't do shit in free agency. So I'm just going to draft whoever I think is the best player available at that position. And Braden Smith, he fills a need. Protect Deshaun Watson. We can run the ball better when we add him to the team. And I think if he does fall to the Texans there, if someone else better isn't there, then I would be happy with Braden Smith. Okay, so this next guy, I was really tempted to take him with the 4th overall pick in the 3rd round, and I just thought Braden Smith would have been a better pick there, but somehow he fell to the 16th overall pick in the 3rd round. I don't know how, and I honestly don't know why this guy isn't rated as a early 2nd prospect. I really don't, but the guy I'm selecting with the 16th overall pick of the 3rd round is none other than Deshon Elliot, safety out of Texas. I'm pretty sure you guys know him. He's 6'2", 210 pounds. Not the fastest guy at safety, but in my opinion, he's fast enough. Again, he's good defending the pass and good defending the run. Another balanced player that can do both. Not like Andre Howe, who can't really, run defend. We really need safeties out there that can do both, and I feel like Deshon Elliot could probably be a day one starter as well. Maybe work him in there slowly into the mix, but I do think that he can be an impact player for the Texans from day one, whether it's just starting for the Texans on defense, maybe being there in certain packages, or maybe just special teams. As you guys know, Texans need special teamers because they're absolutely terrible when it comes to special teams, and maybe Deshon Elliot can help them in that department if they choose to actually sign a safety in free agency. If they don't, then Deshon Elliot can compete for that starting safety, one of the starting safety spots. And the next pick, which is the comp pick for AJ Bouye in the 3rd round, I went ahead and selected Dalton Schultz, tight end out of Stanford. 6'6", 240 pounds. Not really fast, all that fast, but again, he's a good route runner. He catches the ball well, and he's a really good run blocker. So I think this fits perfectly with what the Texans try to do. And honestly, I don't think the Texans really utilize the tight ends all that much. I don't know if it's all that well or all that much, because maybe they do try to use them in the game plan, but they just can't do it for whatever reason, or maybe the tight ends just suck, or whatever. But I went ahead and went with Dalton Schultz here because I feel like the Texans prioritize run blocking when it comes to tight ends. So I just went with a Texans-like move, or a player Bill O'Brien likes or would like, rather than just a guy who can be a vertical threat. I went for a more balanced player, and if you guys can see the theme I'm going with here, I'm going with balanced players rather than players that can only do one thing. I feel like the Texans, if you really look at their roster, they really have players that can really only do certain things. Like, they don't have players that can do everything. So that's kind of what I'm going with in this draft, players that excel at multiple things, and so far I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job with this. Now, Dalton Schultz, I don't know if he's going to be a day one starter. Maybe they'll work him in there. If Fedorowicz decides to play, I doubt Schultz will be a starter. I'm pretty sure he'll be in the back of the depth chart behind Ryan Griffin and maybe even Steven Anderson. But I'll be okay with that. I feel like Schultz could eventually develop into a decent starter. I mean, the guy's pro comparison is Jason Witten, and Jason Witten has been playing for a long time, and he's reliable. He hardly ever gets hurt. So we're a team that had our tight ends injured for majority of the season. So if this guy can be reliable, stay healthy, then I feel like it'd be a good pickup. And with our 4th round pick, 3rd overall, I selected Holton Hill, corner out of Texas. How this guy fell down here, I have no idea. I mean, for the most part, most of the season in Texas, he was a shutdown corner. He would shut down the other team's number 1 wide receivers. He's 6'3", 200 pounds. Not the fastest guy in the world, but again, he was shutting down opposing wide receivers. Number 1 wide receivers at that. And I don't know why he fell. Probably because he doesn't play in the SEC or ACC, the top conferences in college football. But again, when you're a shutdown corner, you're a shutdown corner, and it could also possibly be due to the fact that he got suspended for the last, I want to say, 3 games by his coach. I'm not sure what exactly he did. I did a lot of research into this, and I cannot find out why he got suspended. All I could find out was it was a violation of team rules. So it could be something as stupid as, he was late to a meeting, or, who knows. So that could possibly be why he fell. I do expect it to come out at a later time why he got suspended, but as of right now, I don't think it's out there, or at least I wasn't able to find it. So I do see this guy as a potential starter down the line. Not sure if he can be a day one starter, because I do think the learning curve for corners is pretty big, because adjusting from college level wide receivers to, the DeAndre Hopkins in the world, it's pretty huge. Though I'm not really comfortable with any corner starting day one, if I'm being honest. But of course, sometimes you can get a Jalen Ramsey or Marshawn Lattimore, but those are first round picks. Holton Hill here is a 4th round pick. I do not expect him to be a day one starter. Maybe if someone goes down, I feel comfortable with him stepping in, but it puts us in a position to where if Holton Hill can develop into a solid starter down the line, and so can Tristan DeCoud, then we got 2 towers at corner. So that's kind of why I did it. No more short little corners getting snagged on. Now we got 2 possible big guys that, can go head to head with the Julio Jones, with the AJ Greens. So that'd be pretty fun. With the 3rd pick of the 6th round, and I say 6th round because the Texans do not have a 5th round pick, I went ahead and selected Jordan Lasley, wide receiver out of UCLA. Now, when you look at the Texans wide receivers, they really only have one big bodied receiver, and that's DeAndre Hopkins. Everyone knows is kind of a smaller build. Jordan Lasley can be that other big bodied receiver, because God forbid if DeAndre Hopkins goes down, then we're gonna have a bunch of little guys running around. Kind of don't want that. So Jordan Lasley can be there for depth reasons, and if for whatever reason if Will Fuller gets hurt, God forbid, Jordan Lasley can step into that number 2 wide receiver role. I'd be more than comfortable with him being there. And Jordan Lasley himself, he's not a fast guy. Nothing about him is like really amazing. He doesn't have outstanding hands. He doesn't have great route running, blazing speed. He's just good at everything he does. That he's just an all-around good and balanced receiver. He's reliable. But I would say this about him. 2 things that really stand out when I watched him is his ability to track the ball in the air. Is just perfect. It could have been the fact that he was playing with Josh Rosen, one of the top 30 ranked quarterbacks in this upcoming draft. That probably helped him out a bit. But again, tracking the ball was great, and keeping his feet in bounds. And I'm not talking about the little childish 1 foot in bounds college football rules. No, I'm talking about this guy got both feet in bounds, even though he didn't have to. So he's got some of that toe drag swag. It's always good when you're going to the NFL. And I would just feel comfortable with having another big-bodied wide receiver on the team. And again, like I said, if Fuller gets hurt, I'd be comfortable with him being that number 2 receiver for the meantime, because I don't think anything could play outside. I could be wrong, and I know damn well Braxton Miller can only play in the slot. So if I really had to compare him to someone else in the NFL, it'd be Stefon Diggs. Stefon Diggs isn't really someone that really excels at a certain thing, but he's just good at everything he does, and it makes him into a good wide receiver. So hopefully Jordan Lasley can become that for us. With the first comp pick of the 6th round, I decided to take Kyle Lauletta, quarterback out of Richmond. Now, I'm not saying this guy's going to be, the end-all, be-all at backup quarterback. No. I want the Texans to carry 3 quarterbacks, Deshaun Watson, a veteran backup, and a rookie. Instead of carrying 42 running backs, carry an extra quarterback. I feel like that'd be smarter, just in case. But Kyle Lauletta played in the Senior Bowl. he played for the South squad. So, if you guys didn't know, Bill O'Brien was coaching the South squad. And Bill O'Brien is familiar with this guy, so it could help him out. Now, Kyle Lauletta is pretty accurate. He doesn't have the strongest arm in the world. He's accurate, though. He can make all the throws. He has the balls to make all the throws. You know, there's some quarterbacks that are kind of conservative and just hold the ball. No, this guy just lets it go. He did come from a small school, but he went to the Senior Bowl and won MVP. I think he went like 8 for 12, 180 yards, and 3 touchdowns. So he played pretty well. But I'm pretty sure this guy's not going to be here when it's all said and done, because he's one of those guys that's going to rise. I'm pretty sure after that Senior Bowl performance, people are going to be more interested in him. And I'm pretty sure people would take a gamble on him earlier. With our second comp pick of the 6th round, I selected Alex Cappa, offensive tackle out of Humboldt State. 6'7", 305 pounds. Played for a small school, but I mean, Ray was really high on him, and Ray is my #1 source for offensive linemen. I 100% trust Ray when it comes to offensive linemen, so if you guys don't know who Ray is, check him out. 100% trust him with offensive linemen. He was really high on him, but from what I heard, I don't know if it's 100% sure, because I was more focused on the quarterbacks, because I don't know why, but from what I heard, Alex Cappa kind of struggled in the actual game, but in practice I heard he was doing pretty good. But pretty sure he's not going to be there in the 6th round. He's going to rise, but if he's there, I'll take him, man. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get a tackle in the earlier rounds, but I just think that's how it's going to be in this upcoming draft. And with the 7th round pick, our final pick, and this is not really a huge need, probably not even a need at all. I selected Darius Leonard, inside linebacker out of South Carolina State. I have no idea how this guy fell here. He's a projected 2nd round pick. 235 pounds, 6'3", not the fastest guy in the world. He's kind of more like McKinney. I mean, the guy is an absolute monster when it comes to stopping the run. I mean, in 3 years, he had like 40 tackles for a loss. His last season, this past year, he had 113 tackles, 8 tackles for a loss, 8 sacks. Like, this guy can be a monster. And I was really thinking, like, you know, what if one of our inside linebackers goes down, God forbid, you know, McKinney, Cunningham. We're going to need some more depth, because we do run a 3-4, or that's what I'm assuming we're going to run. So we do have 2 inside linebackers out there at the same time, and I'm 100% expecting the Texans to get rid of Brian Cushing. So again, more depth. Darius Leonard, man, I have no idea how he fell in the 7th round, but if he's there, I mean, by all means, take him. I went best player available with this thing. I was kind of hoping to get, you know, maybe another offensive lineman, maybe another DB, but then I saw Darius Leonard. I was like, what the hell are you doing there? So I just snatched him up. Anyways, that concludes my first of many mock drafts for the off season. Comment down below what you guys think of my mock draft, and I know it's pretty inaccurate as of right now, but as the off season progresses, they're going to get more and more accurate, or more realistic for that matter. So yeah, thank you for watching, and if you stuck around this long, then damn, thanks, man, I appreciate it. Anyways, thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.